as Diné and myself as a Diné, I encourage people, to really be willing to help one another rather than just to help yourself, because the more people you're helpful to, the better it is to survive various catastrophes. Among our Diné, our history goes back 19 generations, which is 1900 years, or even 2,000 years. And so it was that our people experienced a lot of different events in our history of slavery and of people trying to take over small groups and enslave them and also to control them. And so our Diné, our people have encountered many things, and even more so after 1492, when the Spaniards came up into this part of the continent looking for various riches and land and so on. But the thing that happened with the Europeans' arrival, the one thing that's not mentioned often, but even by our Diné, is the viruses and the sickness that they brought. They brought a variety of various disease and illnesses that our people had never encountered before. And that time period in our history is, in our language, it's called a Nehbekenahunzod. And they sometimes just refer to it as Nahunzod. Now here's the situation now with this present day viruses and that we're hearing about, and the some people are not prepared at all. But in our traditional teachings, we had access to water, we had access to firewood, and game was out there, and even the prairie dogs and jackrabbits and that. But our people were always able to provide themselves with the food that they needed. And there is a lot of food out there, but some people just look at it and just don't recognize food. But today, people get so confused that they want to just raid the grocery stores and these stores and think, oh, I'll need this and I'll need that. But there are certain things that you will always need, and that is water. All of our settlements among our Diné was always near a water source, and a good water source, and our people knew enough not to pollute their water with any kind of pollutants of any type, human waste and so on. And so it was that our people always had a clean source of water. But the other thing is just the basic necessities and that. And so our people knew how to make meal from different seeds and plants and so on. And that was a good source of food. And when you get down to where people are not organized enough and causing great confusion, it is very difficult. During the Great Depression in the United States, our people had probably no idea that such a thing was taking place. It was no different, and they just carried on with their lives as they had. And so it is that these things happen, and they come away with some better understanding of how to be better prepared. And anytime that we have these situations, in the past we've been able to deal with them as a country, and we are all in one place. I think that we should be a little bit better organized and help one another, and not be fearful, and to the point of where you begin to think of only yourself. That does not work. When you begin to think of only yourself and disregard other people, and then you have some real problems. And so it is that as Diné, and myself as a Diné, I encourage people, to really be willing to help one another rather than just to help yourself, because the more people you're helpful to, the better it is to survive various catastrophes. And so those are the things that we are told. Shena shabika hojo